Hello everybody and welcome back. This is Old School Gamer here. We are back again with another video today. And so as we all know, For Honor is a game that's being developed by Ubisoft, the people who made a bunch of the Ghost Recons and also Assassin's Creed. But they are making a medieval hack and slash game where you can actually play as a whole bunch of historical type characters such as a knight, a samurai, and even a Viking. And hand-to-hand combat described as the art of battle. And actually just here recently, I believe a few days ago, all the PC specs that is actually required and also the minimum type of PC specs actually have been revealed for Honor. So you guys will actually know what your computer is actually going to need in order to run this game pretty smoothly without any type of major frame drops. And all this has been revealed on ubiblog.com, on Ubisoft's blog website. And I believe there is also going to be a little bit more specs than what I am going to be naming off, because they named a whole shit ton of specs. So just keep that in mind. Links will be down in the description below if you want to see all the extra specs and all the other extra information for the game. So here are the actual minimum required specs to run this game at a smooth 720p 30 frames a second. And it says here that your operating system will have to be a Windows 7, Windows 8.1, a Windows 10, and all of these actually have to be a 64-bit version only. It can't be anything lower than the 64-bit. Like, I believe there's a 30 some odd bit, I believe, I forget. And also your CPU processor will actually have to be an Intel Core i3 550 or maybe even a AMD Venom 2 X4 955 or equivalents. So I'm actually not too familiar with all of these. I'm gonna say that now, so don't get too a little mad at me, but I am. If you guys know a lot about these, you'll pretty much know which all of these are that I'm going to be calling off for. And now for the GPU, that is pretty much just the graphics card and whatnot. This is the NVIDIA GeForce GTX Series 660, the GTX 750 Ti, the GTX 950, the GTX 1050, and all these have to be a 2GB VRAM or more. And also for the AMD Radeon series, there's the AMD Radeon HD 6970, the HD 7870, the R9 270, R9 370, and RX 460, and all these have to have a 2GB VRAM or more. And for your internal RAM for the whole computer will actually have to be a 4GB RAM. And now for the recommended requirements to run at a good 1080p 60 frames per second, you will actually have to have an operating system of Windows 7, Windows 8.1, or maybe even a Windows 10 computer. All have to be a 64-bit versions only, just like how it is for the minimum requirement specs. And for the CPU processor will have to be an Intel Core i5 2500K or maybe even a AMD FX-6350 or equivalent or anything better pretty much. And also the GPU, which is the graphics card pretty much, you will have to have for the NVIDIA GeForce series, you will have to have the GTX 680, GTX 760, GTX 970, or maybe even the GTX 1060, all which have to have a 2GB VRAM or more. And along with the AMD Radeon series, you will have to have a R9 280X, an R9 380, RX 470, all with a 2GB VRAM or more. And for eternal all RAM to run the system and whatnot, it will actually have to have an 8GB RAM. And also that is on the Ubi blog and not on any two other many websites that I found. They actually named out all of the controllers that will actually be supported with the game, along with partially supported controllers that might require a third-party driver or anything like that to run. Like a PS3 controller needs that DS3 tool or anything like that to actually make a PS3 controller run. But for all the supported controllers, you will actually be able to use, of course, the mouse and keyboard, a Microsoft Xbox 360 controller, an Xbox One controller, an Xbox One Elite controller, or maybe even the PlayStation 4 controller, original or even the Pro controller. And now for the partially supported gamepads or controllers, that will actually may require a third-party driver depending on what computer you're running, is from what I'm expecting. You will actually be able to use any third-party Xbox compatible controller like a Rock Candy or a Mad Catz or anything like that, a Logitech Chillstream, a Ouya controller, I believe that's how you spell it, Ouya, how you pronounce it or anything like that, a Steam controller, and also a PlayStation 3 controller. All those will be partially supported that you might need an actual driver to run. For all the specs and everything, you are pretty much expecting that your computer is going to have to be some sort of type of a beast, like a fucking giant or some shit. And you could probably run it with a little bit less specs than what's actually on there, but granted, your game will be very frame droppy and very choppy. It will look like you're playing on a fucking PlayStation 1 or anything like that, which isn't bad. It's just that you won't be able to play the game comfortably without getting very annoyed with all the frame drops and getting a little pissed off. And also, just to include that's pretty much all the information for it now, but I'm also going to include that the closed beta will actually be coming, will actually be opening up to certain players. I believe people who actually pre-ordered the game, or they're just going to be choosing random characters, people like that. I don't know. It's something like that, but the closed beta will actually be opening up on January 26th through January 29th for select players on the PC, PS4, and also the Xbox One. And will actually be releasing on February 14th on those same consoles, PC, PS4, Xbox One, and so far it will not be released on the Nintendo Switch, but you don't know. Nintendo is actually opening up to third-party games, so they will actually probably let For Honor come in at some point. It's getting Skyrim, so it might just get For Honor at some point. But For Honor, I believe For Honor is actually going to be some type of online type game or some shit like that. I believe there's a solo campaign, but a few websites are saying that it's not really too much, but the multiplayer kind of makes up for it. I haven't really done too much research on the game. I saw this and I was like, hey, this might be something cool to report, to talk about. Some people might not know about this, and some people might be wondering. So, hey, might as well let you guys know, But other than that, guys, I think I'm going to end off the video there. Not too much for me to talk about. This is a pretty quick, straightforward video, hopefully. But other than that, guys, like I said, I'm going to end off the video. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe. I feel like I'm worthy enough. And as always, don't forget the bell. I got to say it like that. You know how it is. And as always, do not forget to put your thoughts and comments down in the comment section below. Tell me what you feel about this. Do you guys have a power enough computer to run this? Am I kind of off on all the little information? Did I leave anything out? Put it down in the comment section below. Anything like that. I'd love to hear from you. I'll get back with you, whatever. And as always, guys, I want you guys to have a good day, night, afternoon, whatever time you guys are watching this. As always, keep it old school, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Later. And as always, thank you for watching.